Can trading success come down to something as simple as a formula? Well, as a matter of fact, yes, it can. And in today's video, I'm going to go over that formula with you. So this is part one of our trading success formula series. And today we're going to start with the actual formula itself. So I'm going to go over with you what most people think the formula for trading success looks like. That will be strategy plus capital plus discipline multiplied by times equals success. Guys, this strategy works every time. And I know it's hard to believe that something this simple can work every time, but it absolutely does. Now, one thing I should let you know from the beginning, I am purposely putting this in the wrong order. This is the order that I think most people, especially on social media, and I hate to keep giving social media a bad rap, given that this is social media, but there are too many people out there on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube that are promising returns based off of following their strategy. And we're going to see towards the end of this video that everything in this formula that I showed you here, everything in this formula is critical. All of these elements are correct, but the order is what is most important. And we're going to go over that today. So before we go any further, I want you to put down in the comments what you think the correct order would be. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, this sounds too easy, too simple. Well, okay, it is simple, but it's not too simple. And remember, guys, there's a world of difference between simple and easy. Just look at the weight loss industry. We have a $3 billion a year weight loss industry in the United States alone. And we all know the formula for weight loss, right? It is you consume fewer calories than you burn, or you burn more calories than you consume. It is dead simple, but is it easy? Well, no. If it was easy, like I said, we wouldn't have $3 billion a year being spent on weight loss. The same thing applies to this strategy, to trading in general. The success formula for trading starts first and foremost with let's clearly define what all of these terms mean. So strategy, we all know what strategy, we all think we know what strategy is. And it is basically the nuts and the bolts, the day-to-day, how you get into a trade, how you get out of a trade, what you do while you're in the trade, those kinds of things. That is your trading strategy. And most people, sadly, most people begin and end what they consider a trading plan with this one thing, strategy. If you are watching our shorts, we are actually going through an entire series on how to create a trading plan. And there is a difference between a trading plan and a trading strategy. So be aware there's a lot more to becoming a successful trader than just having a successful strategy. That is absolutely an important part. But as we'll get to in a minute, might not be as important as you think. Capital, well, that's the money that we all trade with, right? And for those of you who have a lot of capital, sometimes it's easier to make a little money in your return when you start off with a lot of money, right? The old joke, what's the fastest way to make $1 million? You start off with $2 million. For those of you who don't have a lot of capital, we've got several videos on where to find trading capital. One of the best that I have found personally is DarwinX. It allows you to trade their system and have access to their trading capital. But capital is one of those that can be a constraint for a lot of people, but it is a very critical part of the trading success formula. Discipline is up next, and absolutely discipline is one of the most critical elements. I like to think of a definition of discipline as, well, if we think about the definition that we have heard before, it's been attributed to Einstein and others, that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, the definition of discipline, especially in the area of trading, would be doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. And the critical factor there is doing the same thing over and over again. That is what discipline is, and that is of the elements that we bring to the table, we as traders, probably the most important. The next one there is time. Now, this is not an element that any of us have any control over, unless you happen to, well, you can't see my blue box poster on the wall, unless you happen to be one of those guys. Don't have any control over time. But time is absolutely an element of your trading that must be taken into account. You've got to account for time. Time is the magical, wonderful, great multiplier. That's why if this was actually a mathematical formula, you would have strategy plus capital plus discipline within parentheses, right? You add those together first, and then you multiply all of those times time. Your strategy, your capital, and your discipline, those are the elements that you bring to your trade plan, you bring to your trading. Time is an element that multiplies the things that you bring to the table, both for good and for bad. If you are impatient, time will kill you. If you are patient, if you are willing to let time do the amazing thing. This is an actual, well, I was going to say it's an actually proven quote from Albert Einstein. I believe it's an actual proven quote from Albert Einstein, that the most powerful force in all of the universe is compound interest. Someone look that up and give me a comment to make sure that actually is from Albert Einstein. I like quoting people without finding out whether I'm quoting them correctly or not. All that compound interest is capital times time. So time is the great multiplier of you as a trader. And quite frankly, a lot of traders, most traders, well, we hear the statistic, 95% of traders fail. I guarantee you 95% of traders aren't allowing time to do what only time can do. Allowing time to do its thing is another way of saying patience, which is an element of discipline. By the way, all of these things we're talking about, patience and discipline, even this very formula can be found in the book, Trading with Joy. And you can find your copy in the link in the description down below. Thank you for those who have gotten your copy. We also go over this entire success formula strategy, breaking it down, and we have exercises going into this detail on our course that is available on the website. All of those elements, so the three that you bring to the table, capital and strategy and discipline, multiplied by time equals success. If you give each one of these their proper attention, the attention that they are due, you will absolutely have success. But remember when I said earlier that I had them in the wrong order. And it was an order that probably, if I had given you these 5 elements and said, hey, put them in some order, I imagine a lot of you probably would have put them in this order. So did anyone guess the correct order? Well, here's one. Time multiplied by discipline plus strategy plus capital equals success. This one is, I love this quote. Now, this one I have verified is an actual quote from the correct person. Charles Spurgeon, 18th century pastor, had this great quote. He said that the difference between, that the discernment is not knowing the difference between right and wrong. It is knowing the difference between right and almost right. So if you got this order, you are almost right. These elements are in a more appropriate order. But here is what I believe is the correct order. And when I say correct order, I mean in order of your priority. And if you put them in this order and give each one the proper attention in that order, you will absolutely be a successful trader. So here we go. Success equals time multiplied by discipline plus capital plus strategy. Now, notice which one of those is first and which one of those is last. And you think, well, hang on, you just put success from the end to the beginning of the equals, it's the same thing. Well, mathematically, yes, you're right. From a trading perspective, it makes all the difference in the world. But we're going to get to success being first in just a minute. Which one did I put last? Absolutely right. Strategy. I put strategy last. Why in the world would I put strategy last? That is the one element of all of these that is talked about the most. Aha. Absolutely. It is talked about the most. Here's the thing. It is the most popular because honestly, it is the easiest of the elements to make a YouTube video about. It's the easiest of the elements to sell a course about. It is the easiest of the elements to say, look at me, I've got a rented Ferrari and a Rolex that I borrowed from a buddy, and I'm passing them off as mine because I have this particular trading strategy. And if you'll just pay me $50,000, I'll give you that trading strategy, and you too can have a borrowed Ferrari and a borrowed Rolex. But guys, here's the thing. Strategy cannot stand on its own. You can't have a strategy without capital. You can't have a strategy without time. You cannot have strategy without discipline. It's also the most misunderstood. And again, forgive me for those of you out there who are on social media. I don't mean to lump all of social media because I am on social media and I am grateful, and I thank God for the opportunity to be on social media. Jeff Foxworthy has a great joke about rednecks, of which I am a member. He says that rednecks aren't necessarily stupid. We just can't keep the most ignorant amongst us off TV, right? Traders and trading gurus and professionals and experts and coaches and all of those people aren't scam artists as a general rule and as a group. We just can't keep the scam artists amongst us off of YouTube. And so I am a bit critical of those who go out on YouTube and say, just follow my strategy and you'll have the same success I have. I have been over this, and I encourage all of you to go back and watch the videos. You cannot trade someone else's strategy blindly and get the same results. No two people can trade the same strategy exactly correctly. The only way that could even be possible is if you just give your money to someone else, let them trade it, right? If you're doing it yourself, there's no way that you're going to ever trade another person's strategy the exact same way that they do. We're all different people. This is why I'm so harsh and critical on social media gurus. I heard a term the other day. I think it was furus, fake gurus. I believe that's what it was, which is an appropriate term. One of the downsides to putting strategy as the number one element is that you are prone then to strategy jumping. As soon as you find that strategy doesn't work, the strategy that you bought or that you copied or that you heard of or downloaded or whatever that you obtained from some method, as soon as it starts to have a few losses, you think, well, hey, this one doesn't work. Let me go to the next one. And jumping strategy is a bad thing. There is a time, and there's a video on this I put out. There is a time to pull the cord, pull the plug, pull the ripcord, whatever you want to call it. There's time to punt on your trading strategy, but it's always later than you think it should be. And when you have jumped a strategy one time, it makes jumping the next time a whole lot easier. Putting so much emphasis on strategy, first and foremost, leads to strategy jumping. And so I encourage you all to have a positive return on your strategy. Have a well-tested, well-thought-out strategy that you have placed your faith in. Hey, there's an entire chapter on how to place faith in your strategy in the book. But remember, put strategy in its place. With enough time and discipline and capital, any strategy can work. I have said it before, and I will say it again. As the famous French philosopher Gusteau said in his misunderstood film we all saw, Ratatouille, anyone can cook. Not that everyone can cook, but that anyone can cook. Any strategy can work. Not that every strategy will work, but that any strategy, if you start off with time and discipline and capital, any strategy can work. Now, of the elements that you control, discipline is absolutely the most important. It is also the hardest one for the beginners and the struggling traders to develop, to understand how important it is. That is the exact reason that we are here at Godly Trading. We are here to help traders fulfill the command from Proverbs that says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And we believe that trading offers the best opportunity for that. And we see too many traders. The reason I wrote this book, right, to go from trading misery to trading mastery, we see too many traders that fall prey to doubt and discouragement and then quit. And that is why we are here. For those beginner traders and those struggling traders, discipline is the key. And once you have turned that key in the lock, this is the thing that got me out of the pit all that time ago. Once you've turned that key, then a whole wide world opens up for you. And then you can find a strategy and then look at it and say, this one works, this one doesn't work, let me find this strategy, and this one works, and just go. And then you're just trading on cruise control. Of the elements that you control, where you don't control time, unless your name is the doctor, but of the other elements that you control, which is strategy and capital and discipline, discipline is the most important. But bringing it full circle, I moved success from the end of the formula to the beginning of the formula, because you must define success first and foremost before you even start. That is the key task, the key bedrock foundation of our course. Is we have to define, we have to know what success looks like for you. You have to say, okay, I have to know what it looks like so I know when I have found it. I have to know where it lives so I know when I have arrived there. And it is going to be different for every person. If you are a 20-year-old with 50 years of trading ahead of you, or if you're a 50-year-old with 20 years of trading ahead of you, or however long it is, your definition of what it's going to mean to be a successful trader is going to be different. If you have $1 million and you're looking to live off of it, if you have $5 and you're looking to build on it, your definition of what it means to be a successful trader is different. If you have $100 in your trading account and you're making $20 a year, you're going to think, I'm not successful. Well, someone with $1 million is going to say, hang on a minute, you're making 20% a year, year in and year out. You're absolutely a successful trader. Here, let me give you my million and you go off and trade it. So another way that social media lies to us is social media, people on social media try to shove down our throats what their definition of success means. If you have a job that's providing all your necessary income to take care of your family, and you're wanting to create that inheritance, that generational wealth that is going to change the course of your family's future, then your definition of success is taking the side income and building it as a side business. If you're 20 years old and you want to go work for BlackRock, call us, we'll pray for you. But you're looking as an income there, and your definition of trading success is completely different. So you have to begin at the end of the formula that we showed at the beginning of the video, defining what success looks like for you. This is the key activity. You cannot move forward until you have done this. And I would encourage all of you, if you don't have a trading plan, you can watch our shorts, we're going through that. If you don't have a trading plan, reach out to us. Email us, comment on the video down below, reach out to us. We can help you develop that trade plan. And that trade plan starts first and foremost with this. It's the key activity. It's its own video. I'll link it here at the end of the video, and I'll show you which one to circle back to and watch if you haven't seen it already. I can't encourage you enough. Now, we're going to go through each of these elements in its own separate video. But success is the beginning point. We're going to go over capital. We're going to go over a strategy. We're going to go over discipline and time and all of those elements. But guys, as you can tell, I'm passionate about this. Don't let someone else define what being a successful trader means to you. That is a road to doubt and discouragement, and you're going to wind up in the pit. We are here to jump down in that pit with you. Like I'm having in the first chapter of the book, we are here to jump down that pit with you and show you the way out. But I'd much rather help you avoid the pit in the first place. And it starts with you, and only you, through prayer and discussion with your family, can define what it means for you to be a successful trader. As I said, this is the key element of the trading course. I would encourage you to sign up for that trading course. Now, this is probably going to be a little controversial. Please comment down below if you agree or you disagree with this being not only the most important element, but the starting point for any trader. By the way, guys, there's a brand new way that you can help support the channel. I signed up for this past week. If you feel that we are providing value for you while we are on a journey to YouTube monetization and selling the books and selling the courses and whatnot, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee. We have the link down in the description and the first pinned comment, and provide support for us in any way that you would see fit. We would certainly appreciate that. We appreciate every single one of you who watch these videos. If you have found value in this, it would help us out an enormous amount. If you would like this video, subscribe to the video, leave us a comment. All of those things help the YouTube algorithm and help our channel grow for that. I would encourage all of you, if you have not done so already, please go and watch this video where we go over this idea of defining success in more detail. And with that, guys, I will see you all next time.